Part 1, The Golden Years to Golden Showers. Let's rewind. 7 years ago, my wife Jessica and I were the couple who made other couples sigh. We met in college. She spilled a margarita on my laptop during finals week, and I proposed 2 years later with a ring hidden in a dog toy. Barks approved. Fast forward to suburbia, white picket fence, a lawn gnome collection, and Barks, our goofball golden retriever who still thinks the Roomba is his arch nemesis. Life was good until it wasn't. The cracks started small. Jessica began working late at her marketing job, coming home smelling like Sauvignon Blanc and not her signature coconut shampoo. She'd snap if I asked why her quick grocery run took 3 hours. Then came the phone phase. Password protected, face-down charging, and a new habit of walking Barks at midnight. When I joked she joined a doggy cult, she laughed too hard. Part 2. The Rise of Todd, the human fire hydrant. Enter Todd. Jessica claimed she met him at the dog park while I was on a work trip. "He's a trainer," she gushed. "Barks needs discipline." But Barks already knew sit, stay, and judge silently. Still, I played along until Todd's first session. Dude showed up wearing a tank top 2 sizes too small and winked at Jess like he was auctioning off his soul on eBay. Barks immediately peed on his sneaker. Jessica insisted Todd was a miracle worker, but Barks regressed. Suddenly, he was chewing furniture and side-eyeing Jess like she'd replaced his steak kibble with kale. Meanwhile, Todd's invoices were creative. $200 per hour for advanced leash resistance therapy. Translation: Jess and Todd resisting the urge to keep their hands off each other in our guest room. Part 3. Operation Fetch This Revenge, a symphony of petty. The moment Barks' furry face mirrored my betrayal, I knew revenge needed layers, like a parfait of pettiness. I cracked my knuckles, brewed a pot of coffee darker than Todd's soul, and plotted. Phase 1, Petco's Bite-Back Bonanza. Todd's Pals Rewards account was a gold mine. I called Petco, mimicking his surfer dude drawl practiced via his Instagram stories. "Whoa, check out this rad schnauzer bra." The customer service rep wasn't suspicious, probably used to dog people being unhinged. "Yeah, my Pomeranian Mr. Fluffernutter ate my password. Can you reset it? He's, gluten-free, so this is urgent." Bingo. Accessed his account. 12,690 points, enough to bankrupt a small nation of good boys. I went full Scrooge McDuck. 87 bags of greenies shipped to Todd's doorstep. His Pomeranian Princess Pia-Lot would either achieve dental nirvana or stage a chew toy rebellion. Cat Litter Monthly. 12 months of clumping clay sent with a note, "For the litter box you call a conscience." He's allergic to cats. Poetic justice smells like lavender-scented silica. ASPCA donation, $1,000 in Todd's name. The thank you plaque featured Barks' mid-eye roll captioned, "Thanks for the treats, Todd. The dog you failed to train." Phase 2, Barks' redemption arc. Barks became my co-conspirator. We camped in my truck outside Todd's apartment, watching Princess drag a bag of greenies into the lobby. Todd emerged, phone screaming, "Why am I getting 87 delivery notifications?" Barks barked along to Todd's meltdown like it was his favorite punk album. Part 4, the dog park diss track, social media smackdown. Todd's Instagram was a shrine to his ego, shirtless selfies with captions like, "Teach and stay to the ladies. Time to crash his #heaven. Step 1, the Burner Brigade, created at Truth Sniffin' Good. Profile pic, Barks wearing sunglasses and a judge's wig. First comment on Todd's dog yoga post. Downward dog? More like downward homewrecker. Pause of cheating. Followers erupted. One user at dogmom4life replied, "Oh my God, he trained my Labrador. Now she brings me socks and my husband's credit card statements." Step 2, the DM avalanche. Sent his followers a public service announcement. Alert: Todd's obedience lessons include gaslighting and pineapple on pizza. Ask him about his stay and cheat package. His inbox became a wildfire. Highlights. He told me he was a vegan, but I saw him at Wendy's. At plant-based Paula. My corgi learned speak, mostly just barks alimony now. At Corgi Chaos. Step 3, the fake Yelp review. Posted a 1-star masterpiece. Todd taught my Shih Tzu to play dead. Too bad his morals did the same. Also, why did he invoice me for extended belly rubs? Todd's response, fake news, that's defamation. My reply, defamation's when it's false, Todd. This is a Yelp documentary. Part 5, the final walk of shame. Skywriters, flyers, and holy fury. Revenge isn't a dish best served cold. It's a 5-course meal with a side of schadenfreude, the Skywriter spectacle. Hired a pilot named Chuck, a divorced dad who cackled at my plan. Over the dog park where Todd and Jess first met, the sky blazed. Todd plus Jess equals Barks approved trademark. Poodles paused, huskies howled. A grandma yelled, "Is that emoji? A toilet?" Todd sprinted to his Tahoe, but not before a dachshund owner filmed him and shouted, "Go viral, loser!" The church bake sale debacle. Printed 500 flyers. Todd's face photoshopped onto a chihuahua with, "Warning, licks faces, steals wives." Drove to his megachurch where Karens gathered for gluten-free salvation. Accidentally dropped the stack. A choir mom gasped, "Marge, isn't this your Labradoodle's trainer?" The priest later tweeted, "Today's sermon, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's spaniel." The Venmo vengeance. Sent Todd's transaction history, $100, advanced cuddle obedience, to Jess's entire contact list. Her yoga instructor replied, "Namaste, out of this mess." Part 6, divorce, doggy style, courtroom drama, and bacon bliss. The courtroom was suited for drama. Jess arrived in sunglasses bigger than her regrets. Todd, banned from the premises, loitered outside like a jilted Scooby-Doo villain. Exhibit A, Todd's Venmo. My lawyer, a silver fox named Greg at Legal Eagle 69, drawled, "Your Honor, rollover isn't a tax write-off, unless it's literal?" Jess's lawyer choked on his coffee. The judge squinted at her. "Ma'am, your dog training defense has more holes than a chew toy." I got the house, Barks, and Jess's Hello Kitty toaster, Barks' Pop-Tart throne. As we left, Jess hissed, "You'll regret this." Barks replied with a fart so lethal her Uber rating dropped. Epilogue, Top Dog Dynasty. Todd's IG now sells detox tea. His latest post, "Rebuilding my pack, do blessed." Comment from at Truth Sniffin' Good, Pack of Lies. Barks and I eat steak nightly. His new trick? Playing dead every time I say Todd. TLDR, turned a cheat into a chew toy, weaponized Petco points, and now reign as the alpha of petty. Barks, 10 naps a day, 0 regrets. Awards lineup. Best dramatic performance by a golden retriever. Most theological use of a bake sale. Update 3. Todd's now a trivia answer. Which fraud's Yelp reviews mention Karma's retriever? Answer, not Barks. Never Barks.
Part 1. The beginning. When everything felt like a fairy tale. Let me start by saying I know I'm the villain here. There's no sugarcoating it. I'm 25, and until 6 months ago, I was in a relationship with the kind of guy people write love songs about. Let's call him Alex. We met in college during our sophomore year. I'll never forget the first time I saw him. Leaning against a brick wall outside the library, scribbling notes furiously while squinting at the sun like it had personally offended him. He wore this ridiculous beanie even though it was 75 degrees out and his glasses kept sliding down his nose. I thought he looked pretentious. Turns out, he was just Alex. We were in the same film studies elective. I hated the class. He lived for it. He'd rant for hours about Hitchcock's use of shadows or why Inception was overrated but still a masterpiece. We started studying together as a joke. I needed help. He needed someone to listen. And somehow it became a ritual. Coffee at 8 p.m., notes sprawled across sticky diner tables, debating whether Titanic was a tragedy or a love story. He argued it was both. The ship sinks, and so does Rose's guilt. Dual metaphors. We kept things secret at first. Not out of shame, but because it felt thrilling. Our friend group was tight, and we didn't want the pressure of their opinions. We'd sneak off during parties, ditch lectures to drive to the coast, and send each other coded texts like we were spies. Once, we got caught in a rainstorm during a hike and took shelter in an abandoned ranger station. He kissed me for the first time there, shivering and laughing while rainwater dripped through the ceiling. I'd never felt so alive. Part 2. Post-college drift. When adulting tested us. After graduation, reality hit. Alex landed a job at a tech startup in California. I took a marketing role in Seattle. We promised long distance would work. "It's just temporary," he said. "We'll visit every month." But flights were expensive, work was exhausting, and weekends together felt rushed. We'd argue over petty things. Why didn't he text back faster? Why did I sound distant? The worst fight happened after I forgot our 6-month anniversary of dating. He showed up unannounced with flowers, only to find me passed out on the couch after a 14-hour workday. "I feel like I'm losing you," he whispered. I didn't know how to fix it. Then his company relocated him back to his hometown, a small city just 3 hours from me. We made a reckless, romantic decision. "Let's move in together." "We'll figure it out," he said. And for a while, we did. His apartment was a shoebox with creaky floors and a view of a parking lot, but it felt like home. We adopted a cat, split chores. He cooked, I cleaned, and binge-watched The Office until 3 a.m. He'd leave sticky notes on the fridge. "Don't forget lunch," or "You're my favorite person." I'd doodle hearts on his work notebooks. We were happy. But slowly, cracks formed. His job required longer hours. Mine shifted to remote work. Days blurred into silence, me alone with my laptop, him coming home drained. We stopped having movie marathons, stopped talking about anything deeper than grocery lists. I felt lonely, not because of him, but because adulthood was nothing like we'd imagined. Part 3. The temptation. How one text unraveled everything. Enter Jake, fake name, an old crush from high school. We'd flirted for years, but never dated. He was the what-if guy. Out of nowhere, he slid into my DMs last January. "Hey, stranger, remember me?" Harmless, right? At first, it was innocent. We reminisced about school dances and bad haircuts. But then the texts got flirty. "You were always the one that got away," he wrote. I should have blocked him. Instead, I let the ego boost hook me. It escalated fast. Sexting. Secret Zoom calls. I'd delete threads before Alex came home, my hands shaking. I knew it was wrong, but I convinced myself it was just fantasy. Jake lived across the country. It wasn't real. Until it was. One night, Alex came home early. I was in the shower, my phone buzzing on the bed. He saw Jake's name, read every message. The look on his face. God, I'll never forget it. He didn't yell, didn't slam doors. He just sat on the edge of the bed, phone clutched in his hand, crying silently. "Why?" was all he asked. I had no answer. I begged, promised therapy, swore it was a mistake. He slept on the couch for weeks, but eventually said he'd try to forgive me. Part 4. The downward spiral. Trust shattered, love bleeding out. Things were never the same. Alex became hypervigilant. If I took too long at the store, he'd ask, "Who were you with?" If my phone dinged, he'd tense up. Once, he drove past my yoga studio to check I was really there. I couldn't blame him, but the suffocation bred resentment. We fought constantly. Then Jake texted again. "I miss you." Like an idiot, I replied. Alex found out. This time, he screamed, threw a mug against the wall. "You're killing me," he roared. I'd never seen him so angry. We didn't speak for days. When he finally did, his voice was hollow. I don't know you anymore. Part 5. The end, when letting go is the only option left. A month ago, Alex told me he's been talking to someone else, a coworker. She's not you, he said, but she's kind. The word gutted me. I asked for a break, a fresh start. He just shook his head. Every time I look at you, I see the texts. I see him. I can't do this anymore. Now, we're roommates in purgatory. He spends nights at her place. I hear him laugh on the phone with her, the same way he used to with me. Last week, I found an apartment listing in his search history. I've started packing my things without being asked. Part 6. The aftermath. Regret is a poison. Without an antidote, I don't sleep. I don't eat. My chest physically aches, like my heart's been clawed out. I replay every moment. The rainstorm kiss, the way he'd hum off-key in the shower, the future we planned. A house by the mountains, 2 kids, a dog named Waffles. All gone because I threw it away for cheap validation. The worst part? I still love him. But love isn't enough when you've shattered someone's trust. I see the numbness in his eyes now, the way he flinches if I touch him. I did that. Me. Part 7. Desperation and delusion. Bargaining with a ghost. I've become pathetic. I stalk his Venmo for clues about the new girl. I write unsent letters. I'd give anything to undo this. I even messaged Jake, blaming him, as if he held a gun to my head. He replied, "Lowell, you serious?" We were just having fun. Sometimes I drive to the ranger station where we first kissed, sit in the dark and scream until my throat burns. I've thought about not existing. Not in a plan way, just a fantasy where I fade away and he gets to keep his happiness without my shadow. Final part. Facing the music. Can I ever forgive myself? Alex moves out next week. I don't know if I'll survive it. Therapy helps, but guilt follows me like a ghost. I'm trying to learn from this. To never take love for granted. To choose honesty over ego. But it's too late for us. To anyone listening this, if you're tempted to cheat, don't. The high lasts seconds. The regret lasts forever. You'll miss the way they laughed at your dumb jokes, the way their hair stuck up in the morning, the future you'll never have. As for me, I'll spend the rest of my life atoning. Maybe in another universe, Alex and I are still laughing in the rain. But in this one, I have to let him go.